That's who I'll be, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. No,
I wish somebody did tell me how to sift through, because it would have saved me enough crosses. Anyways, hi guys. Hey church girl. Today we're talking about how to differentiate between a good Christian guy and just somebody who goes to church. We are human beings, we are social beings, and even though we're independent and we're rubies and we're diamonds or whatever, we still have to take into consideration that some of us are called to a partnership, some of us are called to. First things first is that anytime somebody would disappoint me, I would really feel bad about it. When I say disappoint me, it doesn't necessarily mean disappoint me, Zhara, but it means disappointing another female, and I would really feel hurt because I would have expected more from that guy, right? So I realized that something is wrong. We need to try to see active effort in trying to distinguish between somebody who went to church, like a church guy, and a Christian guy, because they're very, very, very different. I know some of you have experienced it, some of you are still experiencing it, and some of you are also having a challenge trying to differentiate. And by the time you realize that they're fake, you're 6 months in, you've given a lot of time and energy to it, and we don't have time to waste. Before I go any further, let me tell you something. Warning. You might not be ready for a good Christian guy. Huh? Yes, girl. Yes, boo-boo. I learned that the hard way. Sometimes you tell God and you pray to God that, listen, God, send me my Boaz. Send me a man that's going to pull me closer to you. But you're never ready to get pulled closer to God. So before you pray about wanting a good Christian man, make sure that you have the frame of mind. Make sure that you're in the headspace to deal with him. Because he also wants a specific type of woman. We are not perfect. None of us are perfect. But all of us are striving to be good Christians. Being a good Christian means striving and trying for it every single day. You don't have off days. You can't cry creep. So I realize that sometimes we are in the frame of mind where we want this type of guy, but he must be bad too. I don't know. For me, you just can't mix it. You just can't oil and water, just can't mix. And make sure that you're not trying to break out the people them son, and you really want it. And now we move on to the practical tips on how to differentiate between them. Alright, so off the bat, easy. In the first month, maybe it's a different, maybe, matter of fact, in the first week, 2 weeks, to get these people off your back. In the first week, you should be able to know if he's reading his Bible. And not just quoting scriptures. I'm Adventist and I follow the quarterly lesson. So my trick is always to mention the lesson at some point. If he joins the discussion, that's a star. You get a star. And I have in my head I have a point system. So you get a point if you've been studying the lesson. If you haven't been studying the lesson and you can tell me, well, I haven't been studying the lesson, but this week I was reading X, or I was following this Bible plan, or I was studying this book, then it's like, okay, all right, that's fine too. I can work with that. But at least you're in the word, boo-boo. Yeah, man, I need you to be in the word at some point, even if it's not every day. But I want to be able to know that I can study with you and I can grow with you. So if in the first week we can't have those discussions, or it doesn't come up any at all, bye. Next. Secondly, I always look on his friends. First week and a half, you should be able to recognize the people that the person hangs around, because you do your research. You look on Instagram, you see how they post, you see what they post about, you see how their stories be, acting up. So you kind of have an idea of the type of energy that they have around them. And as much as you can have people who are around you who are different, for the majority of it, the people who are around you are a reflection of who you are. So if him just have a bag of waste man around him, there's a high possibility he's a waste man, boo-boo. He could be the one person in the group that's not as waste, but it doesn't negate the fact that he is still some type of waste, and we're trying to not be waste at all. And look on his social media presence. His social media presence has a lot to do with it. Third thing, ask about church events, and just church in general. Ask about participation in church, and I don't want to say positions, because I know that different people who are in positions aren't necessarily Christians. Remember that this is just for you to be able to gauge in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to see if you want to continue. There's a high possibility that if that person sings or that person talks or that person he helps lock up the church at night, or he's the children's storyteller person, or those are just very good signs of somebody who's genuinely interested in the work of the Lord. So we're not going to even have that conversation about people who just go to church for show and tell. I'm just talking about a general way to help you to gauge. Oh wait, I have a bonus. If at no point during the first 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, that guy doesn't mention, let me pray with you, or let me pray for you, then he might just not be the one you're looking for. He might just not be the one that you're looking for. If in the first week and a half, 2 weeks, that person doesn't present to you as if he can add value to your Christian journey, to your growth in Christ, as if he can help you to increase and walk in your purpose, if this relationship won't help you to get to heaven, what you doing, sis? Yeah, so I really hope this helped you. And if you have any other little style and trick up your sleeve that you actually have used, I want you to drop them in the comments below so that we can help each other, so that we can read each other's comments, feel uplifted, feel motivated, and just feel as if we're not alone on this Christian journey. Because church girl, we need to talk about these things, because these are conversations we just don't have in church.